Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2018-2019 school year. My name is Megan Serrano, and I'm super excited to welcome you guys to first grade. So just a little bit about myself. I graduated from Longwood in 2012. I got my bachelor's degree in elementary education, certified to teach pre-K through 6. This is my 7th year teaching. I've been teaching at Glenwood this entire time, which is amazing. 2 years in fourth, 2 years in second, and this will be my 3rd year in first. I have to say, this is really where my heart is. This past May, I welcomed my first daughter, Elena Marie. I'm also a fur mommy to Bentley and Bear. Our schedule this year, you can kind of just look at this. We are going to be having a gifted lesson that's half an hour, which is still in the works, but it will be probably either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, one of the days that we don't have specials. So for PE, we just ask that you make sure your child has appropriate shoes and clothing every day, since that is a daily occurrence. If girls are in dresses or skirts, we ask that they have shorts or leggings underneath. In terms of reading, this is going to be a huge year for reading. We're still kind of learning to read. We're using our cueing strategies that you can see on the right there, looking at the pictures, getting your mouth ready, stretching it out. A lot of these things might be familiar from kindergarten. So we're just kind of continuing on with that. When I meet with your child in a small group setting, this is the type of things that we will be working on. We're also going to be thinking as we read a little bit more of the comprehension piece. Does it make sense? So, of course, looking right, sounding right is the whole decoding, but we're really just trying to get to that point of reading to learn. So, what did we learn from this story? And a lot of the times we use these strategies to help us get to that point. Some of the main objectives that we're covering this year, you can kind of take a look at these, but one of the biggest ones is retelling, and that's, beginning, middle, end, and talking about the characters, the problem. A lot of this kind of all goes together, but we do work on retelling as one of our main objectives throughout the year. We also work a lot on theme and making connections. This happened in the story, this reminded me of something in the text, a different text, or your life. So these are kind of the main things that we will be covering. Just kind of a look at some text. So the book on the bottom left is a level 4, and that's about where your child should be at this point. And that is completely fine. That is where we see most of our students coming in to first grade. As the year progresses, and at the end of the year, we're looking more towards the book on the right, where you can see it has smaller text, more text. It has some features there, headings, diagrams, labels, things like that. So we will be working up to that level 16. And how we determine where your child is using the DRA. And that is given at the beginning, middle, and end of the year to determine your child's reading level. And in the beginning of the year, it's used to determine what small group your child will be in. So your child's going to be grouped with other children of a similar level, so that when I'm instructing them in small group, I'm meeting them where they are. In terms of writing, we are definitely working on our penmanship and using, writing from the left to the right, just like we read, using our spacing, capital letters, punctuation. We are going to be giving quarterly writing prompts to kind of monitor, given a baseline in the beginning of the year. We will have the same prompt throughout the year so we can see growth. We will be writing every day, so there's going to be plenty of chances for improvement throughout the year. For math, we are continuing the program Math Connects, which was also used, I believe, in kindergarten. So your child should be familiar with this program. This is a program where you work towards mastery of each skill. So to do that, I have differentiated skill-based groups where it's similar to reading, where I pull small groups based on skills. So if your child is struggling with counting money or telling time or, number sense, then I will pull them for that specific skill. And we use a lot of technology during this time. So the students are going to be on a website called Prodigy, which is an awesome resource. It allows students to take a baseline test, and it's really a fun, engaging, it almost seems game-like, where they're given that baseline test and it determines, where they are and what kinds of skills that they need to work on. So it's very self-paced and differentiated for the students. And then at the bottom there, you can see some of the things that we're going to be covering this year. This is my class website, so I do recommend that you check it often because there will be a lot of information on there. We've got important dates, and we've got things that the school might want you to know, newsletters, box top information, all of that. For communication, I am using Class Dojo, which has a messaging feature. This is also my behavior management system, so you'll be able to download an app on your phone that's completely free, and you're able to see how your child is doing with their behavior throughout the day. OWL binders, OWL stands for Organized While Learning. Those go home daily if there's any notes you have for me or any transportation changes, PTA stuff, money, any student work, that's all going to go in there. Also, Seesaw is a digital portfolio of student work, which I absolutely love. I started using it last year, and I'm definitely going to use it a lot more this year. There is a messaging feature on there, but I do most of my messaging through Class Dojo. But Seesaw really is a great tool for you guys to see what goes on in the classroom. So a little bit more about Class Dojo if you aren't familiar. It is all about positivity. So it really discourages the negative behavior because students can earn points throughout the day for, following the rules. And basically our main rules are listen and follow directions quickly, raise your hand before speaking or leaving your seat, make smart choices, things like that. So when your child is following those rules, or if they've improved on something, then they can get a point, and their points equivalent to dojo dollars, which are given out every Friday. And there is a dojo store in our classroom, so they can spend that money or they can save it, because there's prizes that are a little bit more money, such as lunch with a teacher, which a lot of the kids love to save their money for. And I think that's a great economics tie-in, to talk about real life situations. Do we want to spend our money on a couple pieces of gum, or do we want to save it for something a lot cooler and more worthwhile? So I do reset the points weekly, but at the end of the year, there is a way to see the total of points that your child got, which is pretty cool. And again, there's messaging, there's stories, so kind of similar to Instagram, if you guys are familiar with that. There's photos and videos. It really is a great tool that I've been using for about 3 years now. Something new that I'm going to try this year, which I've heard a lot of good things about, is a Super Improvers Wall. If you guys are familiar with whole brain teaching, I do a lot of that. You can always look it up if you'd like to know more about it. But Super Improvers Wall basically is a motivational tool to help students improve. So it can be for behavior, attitudes, responsibility, academics, anything really that they can improve on. It's a 10-step system, so you can see all the way from rookie to living legend. And each student has a card with a spot for 10 stars. And they all start at the rookie level. And as they make improvements, they get a sticker. And 10 stickers equates to one level up.